I call this meeting of the Midnight Committee to order. But good news, the agenda is blank. No problems to solve tonight. So let's bang the gavel. The meeting is adjourned. Let's leave the meeting hall and travel to the cozy cabin in the pine forest, a quiet sanctuary to rest your tired eyes. And now, as we always do together, let's prepare for deep sleep. Let go of the screen. Let go of the thoughts. Take a gentle breath in and out. Pay attention to your jaw. Let it go. Relax your tongue. Feel your shoulders. Let them drop down, away from your ears. Imagine a warm wave flowing from your head down to your toes. You are safe, ready to rest. Now, let the story begin. The sun has slipped behind the ridge. Only a thin red line remains, fading into deep indigo. Twilight drifts down through the pines. The world grows heavy and honest. The forest exhales, a long breath carrying the scent of warm needles and the cool promise of night. I stand on the thick carpet of fallen needles. My boots sink into the earth. High above, the wind moves through the crowns, a steady, distant hush, like waves far out at sea. The air turns crisp. It slips into my lungs with the clear taste of cold iron. Then the resin rises, rich, sharp, filling the evening with its familiar turpentine glow. I lift my hand. Old scars, new scratches, resin still shining on the skin. Fingers are sticky with golden sap. It refuses to leave, a scent that will stay with me all night. This slow golden flow is the tree's answer to the day. Proof that life still moves beneath the bark. I rest my palm against rough, warm bark, feeling the slow, patient pulse of an ancient pine. At my hip hangs the old tapping knife, its wooden handle shaped perfectly to my hand. The steel is thin, worn, and familiar. It knows every tree by name. I remember today's rhythm, the blade meeting bark. Kirk, kirk. A satisfying resistance, not a slash. A conversation. Just deep enough to wake the flow. Then the waiting. Watching the first clear beads swell and grow heavy with light. It catches the last of the sun, then falls, plink, into the waiting cup. The scent rises warmly now, spicy and sweet, drifting up like steam from an old kettle. It clings to my coat, my hair, carrying the forest with me wherever I go. I draw the old rag from my pocket and wipe the blade clean. Steel gleaming dull silver in the dusk. The knife slides back into its leather sheath. Shh. A soft sound that means the day is done. One last slow walk along the line. Listening to the quiet plink, plink of cups filling. My shoulders carry the good ache of honest work. My back the satisfied weight of a day well. But now, clouds roll in from the north. The air cools quickly. Time to walk the long path home. The wind shifts and deepens, moving through the treetops like a slow, steady breath. The sky closes gently above me, drawing a soft blanket of cloud over the first faint stars. The smell of coming rain drifts in, mingling with warm resin. The path home is deep in moss and needles, each step swallowed by the quiet forest floor. I look down. The tiny white wildflowers have already folded their petals, ready for night. Ferns curl inward, tucking themselves safely against the coming dark. Just like you, tall pines sway and creak overhead. Creak, groan, old wood speaking to the rising wind. The owl has gone quiet now, settled deep inside some dry and sheltered hollow. My steps quicken just a little. Crunch, crunch. Steady and tired and sure. I can almost feel the warmth waiting, the soft glow of the cabin window in the distance. There it is. A small square of golden light shining through the darkening trees. The first cool raindrop touches my cheek. Tap, gentle, cold, and refreshing. Then another on my hat. Tap, tap. The sky is opening. The rain begins to fall steadily. A soft drumming on leaves and needles all around. My coat grows heavier with each step, dark with rain, warm with the day's work. Porch boards creak beneath my boots as I step under the roof at last. Dry, safe. The iron latch is cold beneath my fingers. Familiar and waiting. The heavy door swings inward with its old creak. I step inside, and the storm stays outside. I close the door firmly. The bolt slides home with a quiet, satisfying clunk. The world is locked out. I am home. Warmth rolls over me. Wood smoke, coffee, wool, and home. My dripping coat finds its hook. Water patters softly into the pan below. I hang my damp coat on the hook. The heavy fabric settles with a soft sigh. I watch a single drop of water fall from the hem. It lands on the tin tray below. Plink. A quiet, lonely sound. I turn away from the door. The world outside is gone. I sit on the low wooden bench to remove my boots. I bend down. My joints creak, echoing the old wood of the cabin. My fingers work at the wet laces. The leather is cold and stiff against my skin. I pull the loops loose, one by one. Slowly. There is no rush. The day is done. I ease my heel out of the left boot, then the right. A heavy thud as they hit the floor. I peel off the thick wool socks. My feet are pale and tired. I wiggle my toes in the warm air. The blood begins to return. I stand up and step onto the rug. It is thick, woven wool, rough but warm. It massages the soles of my feet, grounding me. I walk across the room to the cast iron stove. It is a black giant in the corner, radiating a steady, living heat. I can feel the warmth pushing against my face, thawing the cold. Through the small mica window, I see the embers, deep red, pulsing slowly, fading to black, then glowing bright orange again, like the slow breathing of a sleeping animal. I hold my hands out. I rub my palms together. The dry sound of skin on skin. The heat seeps into my knuckles, loosening the grip I have held all day. My hands soften. My shoulders drop. Now, the ritual of tea. I lift the heavy iron kettle from the back of the stove. It feels solid and substantial in my hand. I walk to the water bucket. I dip the ladle in. The sound of water splashing is clear and musical in the silence. I fill the kettle. The water is cold and clear. I carry it back to the stove and set it down. Metal meets metal with a dull clink. I stand there for a moment, waiting. listening to the fire lick the bottom of the kettle. The wood snaps inside. Pop. While the water heats, I move to my desk by the window. It is an old oak table, scarred and smoothed by years of use. I strike a match. The sulfur flares with a sharp hiss. I touch the flame to the wick of the kerosene lamp. The light blooms. A soft, golden pool spreading across the wood. It pushes the shadows back into the corners of the room. I see my journal waiting. The leather cover is cracked and soft. It is the color of dark earth. It smells of time. I sit in the wooden chair. It creaks familiarly, welcoming my weight. I run my hand over the cover of the book. I open it to a fresh page. The paper is thick, cream-colored. I can feel the texture under my fingertips. I pick up my fountain pen. Solid brass. It warms quickly in my hand. I unscrew the cap. The threads turn smoothly. The kettle begins to sing. A low, rising whistle. It is a cozy sound, the sound of comfort. I get up slowly. I take the tin of tea leaves. I pinch a small amount. The dried leaves crinkle between my fingers. I drop them into the mug. They smell of the forest floor and dried berries. I pour the boiling water. Steam rises instantly. It curls and twists in the lamplight. A dancing ghost of warmth. I carry the steaming mug back to my desk. I wrap both hands around the hot ceramic. The heat travels straight to my bones. I take the first sip. It is hot, strong. It warms my throat, my chest, settling deep and heavy in my stomach. Outside, the wind howls around the corner of the cabin, but it sounds distant now, muffled by the thick logs. The rain has found a steady rhythm on the roof. Drum, drum, drum. A constant washing sound. I look at the blank page. I dip the pen. The nib touches the paper. Scratch, scratch. The sound of the pen is louder than the storm. It is the sound of order, of recording the day. I write about the pine trees standing tall in the wind. I write about the golden resin catching the light. I write about the owl, about the cold air. The words flow out of me, emptying my mind. With every word, I feel lighter. The burden of the day is transferred to the paper. I don't have to carry it anymore. The writing slows. My hand feels heavy. The letters become looser, softer. I put the pen down. I close the book. The day is officially over. I blow out the lamp. The room plunges into semi-darkness. Only the orange glow of the stove remains. I move to the big armchair by the fire. I sink into it. The old cushions sigh, accepting my shape. I pull the wool blanket up over my legs. It is rough and warm. I tuck it in around my feet. I am cocooned. I am held. I stare at the embers through the stove grate. Pulse, pulse. My eyes begin to lose focus. The orange light blurs. My eyelids feel heavy. So heavy, like they are made of lead. It feels good to close them, just for a moment. I listen to the rain. It wraps the house in a layer of sound, a protective shell. Nothing can get in. I am safe inside the sound of the rain. My breathing slows down, in and out, matching the slow pulse of the dying fire. My legs are heavy, sinking into the chair. My arms are heavy, resting on my lap. My neck relaxes. My head tips back against the cushion. I let go of the last bit of tension in my jaw. The scent of resin is still faint on my hands. A warm, sweet memory. Drifting, floating. The cabin is a ship, sailing on a sea of pine trees and night wind. I don't need to steer. The forest is steering. I can just rest. Deeper. The sounds are getting further away. The rain is a whisper. The fire is a warm hum. Everything is soft. Everything is slow. Sleep comes. Thick, sweet, like the resin covering everything. Deep sleep. Safe sleep. Good night, cabin. Good night, forest. Good night, my friend.